What an opportunity here. All the seeds have gone in the lower half of the draw. Survey Tazagal went out due to this man, Karol of Poland. And here's his opponent, Vladislav Arventii, towards Rio 2016. The top 6 in the world will qualify for 2016 at the end of the year. And the points here, this is known as a G4. So the points are four times more than a G1. I think I could work that one out. But what an opportunity here for two athletes who are lower ranked. You know, just looking at the list, Robak is 32 in the world, Arventii is 16 in the world. Neither of them have even medaled at a major event, and the winner of this will get a guaranteed silver medal.
Yep, and straight away you can see the tail of the tape, the size difference definitely favouring Robak, but it's a nice little shot from the pole. Squeaks it under the guard there of Arventii. But I've been very impressed by the Moldovan. It's an aggressive style of fighter. He's not intimidated and gets in close there with the back leg turning kick.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a short stature, but he packs a punch, doesn't he? And that's, you know, it's a little bit like what we saw with Charlie Maddock yesterday. He really doesn't get pushed around. He may be smaller, but he's got some power in him, and he's going to be posing a problem for some of these taller athletes. Polish athlete, Robak, can you believe, only 17 years old, to beat somebody like Tazagal, who's basically seen and done it all.
Tries with a double turning kick on the body armour there, just on the inside. Doesn't manage to score. Arventii is going to have to get a bit of footwork going here to try and move the bigger man around.
Yeah.
But as you mentioned, Adrian, after that big win, his confidence, Karol Robak, his confidence will be sky high.
Arventii himself is only 21, so it's certainly becoming a young man's tournament, this one, isn't it? The youngsters have done really well here in Baku.
What we often talk about as athletes, it's not about your actual age, it's about how many years you've been in the sport. And if you've been in the sport at the start of the new rules, you're just as much of an expert as everyone else. So there's a good expert headshot though from Robak. Well ridden by Arventii. There's a back kick in return.
Robak again scores with the kick, and Robak scored the head kick. We've seen this. This is his speciality. It's when they're close. He's been practicing this what's it called, the crescent, where you come in around the top and get the head kick when you're not actually expecting it, because you're so close to your opponent. You think, well, we're just going to clinch and go apart, and Robak comes in and just steals out of your pocket and takes. Yes, and
it was feet back.
Yes, it was feet back. Very good indeed. And we saw Charlie Maddock yesterday. She did the same. She was looking at the scoreboard and she took a head kick. And well, Arventii was convinced he'd scored something there. And he looked at the scoreboard, and it was Robak who scored, and he scored again. And this is the trouble, isn't it? He's scoring freely. This man has really studied how to score in Taekwondo, and he's now getting the benefit. Again, left foot comes in over the top, another point. And at the moment, Arventii just doesn't really know what to do. He's being pushed aside by his taller opponent, and every time he comes into the clinch and tries to get personal, he looks at the scoreboard and sees he's lost another point.
Tries with a punch, tries to change things a little bit. Now that kick was after Karol.
Yeah, that will be taken off. But it was interesting, Arventii actually had his hand up there. He saw the kick was coming in for the head when he was close. So he's learnt already with Robak that he needs to defend when he's tight.
No, he's performed really well here, and to be fair, if he could have been told that he'd be in a medal match later on, then he may have accepted it. He's still in with a shot at the repechage here.
Yeah.
Let's not write him off. You can still get a knockout, but that's what it would take. It's not. He's not going to beat him on skills or accumulation of points. He's going to have to knock him out.
Yeah.
To do that, it's a big ask.
Absolutely. The losers from the semi-final will be having a bout later for a bronze medal. So they'll get a chance against the winners of the repechage, which the repechage is based on the loser of the semi-final against two athletes who lost against the athlete who got through to the final. Understand what I mean?
No, I do indeed.
So we have a couple of repechage semi-finals and then bronze medal matches. So there are 6 bouts taking place.
And I wonder if Roback can push for the 12-point gap here. If you're superior by 12 points by the end of the second round, then it's game over. And I'm sure he wouldn't mind getting out of here a little bit early. He'll get paid for overtime in Taekwondo, so tries for the sneaky shot there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, in the quarter-final, it was noticeable that Roback just took it a little bit easier, decided to conserve some energy. Here he knows he's got, he goes down heavily there, and there's a contact with the head while he was on the floor, and I think that's been given as a head kick.
On the way
he
to
wants
the
a
floor.
card, yeah, and I don't blame him, because this is this is allowed, because this is comes under the category of an error. That he wants to say that, look, you know, he's kicked him while he was on the floor, basically.
I think it's what he's saying is that he's hit his head so hard off the ground here, bang. Oh no, I tell a lie.
The left foot came round, didn't
It's
it?
landed, yep, you're right. As he slips, it lands on his head here.
Yeah, but he's already on the floor.
Yeah.
And he's not anywhere near the head.
Plunk onto the back of the head.
Yeah.
Yep, good spot, Adrian, and good spot from the Polish coach.
So this is an example where you're allowed to play a card for what I remember we called a defensive reason. If you've spotted an error, if there's a kyungo or, you know, you can basically call anything. If you want to call it for an attacking reason, he's going to get the card back. This is a good card. The only reason on an attacking front is to call your opponent out of court, or for actually a face wash, as we've been calling it. A touch on the face, which of course there's no sensors. So those 3 points taken off, and rightly so. And another point is, it's just incredible how easy Roback scores these points. Time is up. We will have a third round after all. But John, there's just this chap from Poland, Roback, Karol Roback. You know, he's 19 years old. He's, you know, look, he's 32 ranked in the world. He has been playing, I looked, he's played 12 events in the last year. He has been to lots and lots of smaller events. He's not won any of them, but he's been accumulating experience. And he's come here, and it's almost like he's had an epiphany and realised that, hold on a minute, this is the way you score in Taekwondo. And he's come to this event, and he looks like, you know, his Taekwondo abilities don't look anything particularly special, do they, John? It's just that he knows how to score in this sport.
Oh, for sure, and it comes from the Polish stable. They've had a litany of great fighters, none so than Marcin Kowalski, his own coach. There is a top time, so lots of experience in the camp. But you talk about a kind of breakout competition, a breakout moment in your career. Well, he broke the spirit of Tazagul Servet, and that's given him all the confidence. Arventii cannot believe that his back kicks are not scoring. He absolutely clattered against Roback there, but it's going to be the 12-point gap.
And that's it, it's all over. And Roback has just, well, in a major international semi-final, has just won this by 12 points difference. Would you have ever expected that? And he's going to be facing, well, he's going to have the fight of his life in the final, because he's going to be fighting the local Azeri fighter. I can